I gather that the old sub-postmaster scandal's been in the news. I don't have a television, so I don't really hear about these things, but people have been telling me that the sub-postmasters finally have their story, their vindication, if you like, of the terrors that were put against them being blamed for stealing money from the sub-post offices by the post office and the government. And I think due to some blip with the technology of the computer system that went in, they were forced to use. I think it was Fujitsu who were part of that thing. And we've seen how these big corporations, they gang up, don't they, with the governments to blame ordinary everyday human beings. They just don't believe ordinary people when they say, actually, no, it wasn't me. I'm desperately trying to do the right thing. And yet there's something wrong with this computer. And they weren't being believed. And we've seen that so many times. In fact, that collusion between government and companies, the backhanders that have been going on, haven't we witnessed over the years? I mean, certainly I do, because I'm of a certain age. And every now and again, journalists get these boxes that say, do not open for 30 years. And the 30 years elapses and they open up the boxes only to find that prime ministers and government ministers have done dirty deals, things that you would at the time would like to have known about, because it would have persuaded you perhaps not to vote for that party ever again. You would see the dirty dealings that have gone on with different factions, whether they be the terrorists that they've been dealing with or other big companies that they have made these dirty dealings with. And we've seen that in recent times, have we not? What with the WhatsApp messages coming out and Matt Hancock trying to say we've got to scare them as much so that they take the intervention and all of that. We've seen Partygate. So the fact that in 30 years ago or before that, these boxes had the secrets of Parliament hidden in them, and then some time passes and you open them up and you go, oh my goodness, what did they do then? I mean, if they did it then, surely we're not stupid enough to think they're not doing it now. And of course they are. As I say, with these WhatsApp messages and things, we pretty much know that the government are doing dirty tricks left, right and centre and colluding with big corporations. The fact that they don't tell you that the government is a corporation in and of itself, with different departments registered at Dun and Bradstreet as a business, and it's not there as you think as a government. I mean, does that not also say something in and of itself? So most people now are beginning to realise the harm, the great harm that has been done by big corporation, this corporate Britain that has been now out there to sort of penalise the ordinary everyday person. We know that because of these car traps, you know, the speeding traps. Originally, those cameras, weren't they there because there were black spots originally and they had to go up in a certain black spot? There had to be something like 6 accidents over a certain period of time. I don't know the exact details, but isn't that why those speed cameras were put in, to make sure? But now they're being put in everywhere, on all the gantries on the motorways, so that they can ensnare people. Very anti-human, if you ask me. And then what with the advent of all these other things, the ULEZ and the clean air zones, in which you don't know, and then you're being charged, and the next minute you've got enforcement officers banging at the door after you, or with the council tax, as we've seen. Very anti-human policies coming from government. Well, it does seem to me that these scandals, which keep leaking through now and are going to leak through like nobody's business, people are slowly becoming aware of the great harm that has been done to them. Something that was told to be safe and effective, and they were mandated, cajoled and persuaded to have, that actually now they're beginning to think, actually, no, I don't want it. The latest thing is that now you can get one of these same things for shingles, which is a little bit bizarre. And people are beginning to realise that actually there's something going on. Well, as they wake up and as they realise this and as they look at the government and go, Is this the friendly face of humanity I look at? Or is this a somewhat darker, more miserable face that's actually making my life a misery as they come every 5 years or so with their begging bowl saying, we will make the borders better, we will make the education better, we will make the police better, and in actual fact all we see is everything going down the plug hole. As people wake up, the great masses, slowly I think that we will start to see that unity. It will become more clear that it's us and them. And when that happens, those people who've been watching my videos for some time and been looking and expressing the truth and freedom and understanding that things have not been right for a long time, let me tell you, I believe that we are going to be the signposts for the future. As more and more people, those people that we thought would never wake up, those people that seem to be blind to the fact that the government is actually against them, not working for them, not improving their lives, as they slowly realise they're paying so much more in tax, that they're being penalised left, right and centre, that they're being entrapped and snared and treated as if they are scum, basically, and all they're there is a cash cow for the government to get more wealth for them and all those people that seem to not listen, not be doing what they should be doing and listening to the people and enacting the policies that we ask, not the policies that they want. As more and more people become aware of this, and they will be, and this year is going to show that in bigger numbers than we've ever seen, as revelations are going to come, then you and I, the people watching these sort of videos, the people who meet and have discussions about what we can do in the freedom movement, we are the signposts. We are, in fact, in many ways, the chosen ones to help those people as they wake up and are confused. What's happened? I thought the government was on our side. I trusted them. I voted for them, but they definitely don't seem to be. Well, we will be the ones that will be able to say, look, if you actually want better health, it's this way. Don't trust the NHS. You've seen how, what with Midazolam Mat and the various things that they've been doing, how they've been trying to put in this spike protein left, right and centre into everything, and that how Big Pharma is selling you pills that actually just continually keeps you ill. It's got side effects at every blooming thing, including death. Why would you take them? Perhaps there's a better way. We will be doing the signposting for that. We've seen how the banks are lending money. They just conjure it up out of thin air, and then not only do they lend it to you, but they ask you to pay it back at a huge cost. And now we've seen the advent of potentially programmed money, the CBDCs, which will be potentially saying, oh, you can't buy that because you've had too much of that. You can't buy red meat. We want you to eat more plant-based foods all the time. We want to eradicate farming. We want to get rid of that. You're going to eat synthetic food. If you don't go along with the mainstream narrative that there is man-made global warming, that CO2 is bad. Of course, it's the gas of life and we're incredibly low on CO2. We actually need more so that we can green this planet a lot more. Then the banks could potentially have that control on what you spend and where you spend it, along with the old digital ID, of course, in which the government knows everything about you. It knows where you've logged on. You probably have to log on to the internet before with your digital ID. We can see that they're pushing us ever more into that digital world where you need to have downloaded software onto your phone so that you can actually park and pay for parking. Eventually people will be waking up to all of these scams, all of this, and they'll be confused. And we will be the signposts. We that have been talking and looking at the solutions about growing your own food, eating well, proper organic food, about eating a balanced diet, about eating healthy, about not breathing in the, if you can help not breathing in, but pushing against the geoengineering and the nonsense they're spraying in the skies to dim the place, and the fluoridation of the water and the various other things that are not that are not healthy for you in the water. We will be the ones that will be there signposting people, showing them how to filter their water or to distill their water to make it clean, and forcing these companies, if they want to stay in existence, if they really want to carry on being there, they've got to actually serve our interests and not their own. So I think this is going to be a fantastic and interesting year as these revelations start spewing out like the colander with all the holes in it, or like a dam that's bursting as the truth is coming forward. People will be confused. They won't know where to go. And our role as signposts will be able to guide them. Get your kids out of school, because the curriculum the government seems to have come up with, teaching masturbation to 4-year-olds and sexualization of children, is not good for your children. We will be finding out so much more about the misdeeds of these people who think that they have the right to control us and really don't. So be prepared. As the Great Awakening is starting to happen, our responsibility is to help those freshly awake. They don't need to know all the nuances of everything. They may not understand what Agenda 21 is or Agenda 30. They may never have heard of the WEF or even the WHO, or the moneylenders and the Luciferians and the Satanists who have been planning all of this. They may not know all of that. They don't need to. They just need us to be able to guide them in the most helpful and healthy, beneficial way. And I feel that is going to be our role, a very important role in the very near future. So be prepared and good luck.